Movement Monday here, we're talking about handstand walking. Now, pretty advanced gymnastic skill, but I'm here to tell you some steps to get there. Now, the first thing you really want to do is establish a good handstand on the wall to start. So a really good drill for that is a wall walk up the wall. So by starting on the ground, push yourself up, walk your feet and hands towards the wall, getting as close as we can to the wall, coming back down. Once we feel comfortable with that, we can start facing the other way, kicking up towards the wall, establishing a good handstand, pressing through the floor at all times. Now it's important that you're looking at the ground for a handstand walk, as we don't really want to be looking through, we want to be looking at the floor, because when you're walking on the floor for the handstand walk, you gotta look where you're going. You're not really looking through as like a classic handstand push-up. Next thing we want to kind of move to after we've established a good handstand against the wall is some shoulder taps. This is where we can start thinking about shifting weight side to side when we're upside down, which is really needed when we're walking freestanding on the floor. So we're establishing a position on the bench. We're in a nice pike position, trying to get our hips as high as possible, staying locked out with our elbows on the floor, and then again, tapping each shoulder side to side where we start to get comfortable, lifting one arm, shifting side to side with our weight. So once we've established the shoulder taps on the bench, we feel really comfortable with that, we can start transferring that skill to the wall. We're in a handstand, now doing our shoulder tap side to side. Full shoulder tap, especially when we get upside down, can be a pretty big step. So you almost want to think about doing little shoulder taps, almost just lifting our hands side to side, eventually getting that bigger and bigger and bigger, going into the full shoulder tap side to side while we're upside down. All right, so once we've established the good shoulder taps on the wall, we can start thinking about kicking up into that handstand and doing a little handstand walk towards the wall. So this way, you're just doing a couple little steps. The wall's gonna save you with your feet touching the wall. You're back in a regular handstand against the wall, and then you can come back down. Once we have been comfortable kind of walking into the wall, doing a little bit of handstand walking towards the wall, we can start taking out to the open floor. And just start with little steps, right? Don't feel like you have to go 50 feet unbroken to start, just little steps, come back down. It's always better to be in control of your handstand walk to start, rather than maybe trying to race through it and getting a little bit out of control. All right, so those are a few steps, how we can progress that handstand walk. Starting with establishing that good wall walk and that good handstand against the wall. Eventually, getting into the shoulder taps on the bench, on the wall, and then taking that into, handstand walking into the wall and then into the open floor. So happy handstand walking. We'll see you next week for another Movement Monday tips.